Now, in this video, I'm going to write an answer to the writing task on the Alex Jones article, and that task was from the 2018 Leaving Cert paper, and it was all about whether or not you trust social media or whether you trust the media in general and social media to inform yourself about the world. So the question was fausses nouvelles, false news, faites-vous confiance aux médias et aux réseaux sociaux pour vous informer sur le monde? You wrote an answer to this. So I took some of the ideas that some students wrote, and I am going to put that answer together right now. Now, it's very, very important that before you do this kind of task that you write a plan. So I always think in terms of an introduction, which we have at the top, just a few lines of introduction, and then I always think of maybe two strong points for our développement. So I've decided on two things here that I'm going to say, and then I'm going to make a conclusion down here. And again, the conclusion is very often going to contain some of what I said in my introduction, like a topping and tailing. So let's look at those. Now, in my introduction, I'm going to say, the question is, do you have confidence? So now this key expression here, I'm going to recycle that, faites-vous confiance, and the expression is faire confiance à. So I'll be saying, no, je ne fais pas confiance à, je ne fais pas confiance. I'm going to recycle that. Now in my introduction, I'm going to say, yes, I do trust paid media. The adjective paid is payant. So that's paid, and free media, that's gratuit. So I'm going to need those. And as I say, I make up my little plan, and in June you'll have a half an hour to do this task, and I would spend at least 10 minutes writing out a plan. I often just have two columns. Left-hand column, I write down my little notes in English, and on the right-hand column, I write down the vocabulary that I'm going to use. And obviously, if I don't have the vocabulary for this English, I have to change it around until I can say what I want to say. So, faire confiance à un média payant, média gratuit. And now in my development, I'm going to say this question makes me think of, me fait penser à. Makes me think of. So this is a key. This question makes me think of something. This question makes me think of an article I read, and so on and so forth. An article is just simply un article, and que j'ai lu. And he's the host of a fake news site. Now, we had some of this vocabulary when we were reading that article. A host is un animateur. Animateur is the host. And a fake news site, that's a site de désinformation. So we've got désinformation here at the start of that word, and it's very easy then, of course. Site de désinformation is a fake news site, and he's got millions of followers. We had that word already. I hope you know it. Abonné. So he's got millions of followers, and people like him can spread all sorts of lies. Now, spread could be propager, like propagate in nature, to propagate. But if we didn't know that word, we could use broadcast, and that would be diffuser. So diffuser, to broadcast. They can broadcast all sorts of lies. Now we had that word, un mensonge there. And they can spread all sorts of lies. So diffuser des mensonges. Ils peuvent diffuser des mensonges and on their sites, their sites, and they should be shut down in my view. And that's going to be the verb devoir être. So we're going to say devrait être. They should be devrait être, and then fermé or something like that. They should be shut down. Devrait être fermé. Just make the text a little bit bigger here. No, so that's point number one. And then for my second point, I'm going to say nowadays more than ever. Nowadays would be de nos jours. And young people, it's important, I think, je pense que, or je crois que, excusez-moi, je crois que, or j'estime que. I recommend that you learn all three of those. Je pense que, je crois que, j'estime que. They can use those. You can use those almost interchangeably. I think that, I believe that, I estimate that, or estimer is very like penser in French. So we could use it. And so I think that young people must inform themselves. That's s'informer, very easy. S'informer. I think they should. That it's important that they inform themselves. And all of my friends, la plupart de mes amis, they go on social media. And aller sur, to go on. Aller sur, or we could say se rendre sur as well. So either of those expressions, and they go on social media, but these platforms are not reliable. Now, a platform is une plateforme, just the spelling is different. Une plateforme with two E's in there, E-E, une plateforme. And these platforms, ces plateformes, they're not reliable. No, the keyword is fiable, and not reliable. And they're owned by private companies. Now, the verb to belong to is appartenir à. That's a new verb for us, appartenir à, appartenir à. A couple of students use this word, so they belong to private companies. Des sociétés privées. So private companies, but they just want to make money, these companies. So what is to make money? Faire de l'argent. And so we cannot trust. We cannot trust what we read on these sites, and to trust. Se fier à is to trust. Again, that's possibly a new expression for us. Se fier à. So we cannot. On ne peut pas se fier à. On ne peut pas se fier à. One cannot trust. It's an alternative to saying faire confiance, but I don't want to repeat the same expression several times over. So faire confiance à is one way of saying it, and then se fier à is another way of saying the same thing. And what we read and on Instagram and so on. So that's my second development point, and my conclusion then I'm going to say pour conclure, conclure. I could say pour conclure or en conclusion, either one of those, and we should have both of them in our bags to have ready to go. So reliable journalism, and I'm going to say, again, I'm going to reuse that word fiable, un journalisme fiable. Un journalisme fiable is very important. And we must payer, in my opinion. À mon avis, il faut payer. We must pay. And that way, if a journalist doesn't check the facts, if a journalist doesn't check the facts, so vérifier les faits. Vérifier les faits. Vérifier, that's what it's all about, isn't it? If people don't check the facts, people can say anything. So if he doesn't check the facts, we can hold him responsible. No, tenir pour responsable. We can hold him responsible if he doesn't tell us the truth, a journalist. And so social media aren't reliable. Might even repeat that word again. And then anyone can say anything they want. So with all that information now in mind, I'm going to write an answer. And it's your job now to go through the answer with me and learn it. So that if anything comes up about social media or anything like that, you'd be able to use that down the road. So down at the bottom now, I'm going to structure my answer. My introduction is going to say just simply, paid media, yes. Free media, no. Les médias payants, oui. Les médias payants. Attendez. Les médias payants, oui. Les médias gratuits, non. Do you trust them? Les médias payants, oui. Les médias gratuits, non. Now, these two adjectives, you'll note that those two adjectives there are in the plural, because media is a plural word in French, and we must use it in the plural. Now, in English, it is also a plural word. We should all be saying in our English essays or whatever, social media are good in one way and they're bad in another way. They are. And everybody says that media is this and media is that, but that is wrong grammatically. But it's another story. But in French must be plural, and in English it is also plural. Les médias payants, oui. Les médias gratuits, non. And je ne leur fais pas confiance. I don't have confidence in them. Je ne leur fais pas confiance. Je ne leur fais pas confiance. Je ne leur fais pas confiance. Now, that's my introduction done now. And my first development point is this. And my first development point is now this question makes me think of an article that I read about Alex Jones. So it makes me think of. So we're going to say that by saying cette question. That's a very important expression. Cette question me fait penser immédiatement à. Cette question me fait penser immédiatement à. This question makes me think immediately of a holiday I spent in France last year, an article I read, a documentary I saw on TV. So that learn that off by heart. Cette question me fait penser immédiatement à. Cette question me fait penser à. Cette question me fait penser à. And then I'm going to say un article que j'ai lu au sujet d'Alex Jones, au sujet de. At a push, we could just simply say sur Alex Jones, but on the subject of au sujet de, remember that expression. Un article que j'ai lu au sujet d'Alex Jones. And I'm going to say he is the host of a fake news website. Jones est l'animateur d'un site de désinformation aux États-Unis. And with millions of followers, avec des millions de. Jones est l'animateur d'un site de désinformation aux États-Unis avec des millions d'abonnés. And I'm going to say nowadays people like him can spread lies. Nowadays, de nos jours, les gens comme Jones, people like Jones, peuvent diffuser, can broadcast, peuvent diffuser all sorts of lies, toutes sortes de mensonges. Okay, toutes sortes de mensonges on their sites, sur leur site. Ok, de nos jours, les gens comme Jones peuvent diffuser toutes sortes de mensonges sur leur site. And I'm going to say, in my opinion, these celebrities are a real danger. So, à mon avis, ces célébrités sont un vrai danger. They're a real danger. Sont un vrai danger. And their sites should be shut down, in my opinion. And then leur site devrait être, and then fermé. They should be, how about we'll say forbidden. They should be prohibited, interdit. Okay, and the adjective interdit is forbidden, and with an S in the plural because we've got multiple sites. Leur site devrait être, should be forbidden. Okay, and that's my first point done now. And now my second point, if we go back up, and my second point is going to be, today more than ever, it's important that young people inform themselves. So how are we going to say that? I'm going to make a new paragraph for my second development point. And I'm going to say, aujourd'hui, plus que jamais. Aujourd'hui, plus que jamais. And it's important that young people inform themselves. Non, aujourd'hui, plus que jamais, il est important que les jeunes s'informent. Il est important que les jeunes s'informent. They inform themselves. Now, we could stop there, but I am going to add a little bit more. Il est important que les jeunes s'informent, and I'm going to say about the world, you know, and sur ce qui se passe dans le monde. And the part ce qui se passe dans, we could leave that out, we could just leave it out. We could say they inform themselves on the world, s'informe sur le monde, s'informe sur le monde, s'informe sur le monde. But it's a little bit weak. We could say s'informe sur ce qui se passe, ce qui se passe, ce qui se passe, ce qui se passe dans. What happens in the world. So we could get away without that, but I'm going to leave it there so because now that you see it, you can learn it. Aujourd'hui, plus que jamais, il est important que les jeunes s'informent sur ce qui se passe dans le monde. So this time I'm going to say the majority of my friends go on social media to get information. So la plupart de mes amis vont sur les réseaux sociaux pour avoir ou bien pour trouver, pour avoir des informations. To get information, pour avoir des informations. La plupart de mes amis vont sur les réseaux sociaux pour avoir des informations. To get information. But these platforms are not reliable. Now we're going to use the word platform, mais ces plateformes ne sont pas fiables. Mais ces plateformes ne sont pas fiables. Why? Pourquoi? A little short rhetorical question. Pourquoi? Pourquoi? Because they belong to private companies. Parce qu'elles appartiennent à des sociétés privées. Now what's that about? Parce qu'elles appartiennent. Now why have I got the L here in the feminine form? Because they belong to private companies. Now the they we're referring to are platforms, and that's a feminine word. So these platforms are not reliable. Ces plateformes ne sont pas fiables. Pourquoi? Parce qu'elles appartiennent à des sociétés privées. So the L there. Now, if you were talking about the social media and you say the social media belong, you know, that would be a masculine. Les médias, les médias. So, and you'd say in that case then, parce qu'ils appartiennent. So a couple of you said that when you were doing your writing tasks. So we'd have the masculine in that case if we were talking about media, because media is a masculine word. But in this case, we've got a feminine, so I'm going to keep it the L. So, parce qu'elles appartiennent à des sociétés privées, And these companies, they just want to make money. And I'm going to say, but these companies, however, cependant, or toutefois, however, toutefois, ou bien cependant, toutefois, ces sociétés veulent simplement faire de l'argent. Toutefois, ces sociétés veulent simplement faire de l'argent, to make money. And for that reason, we cannot trust them. Pour cette raison, nous ne pouvons pas nous fier. I'm going to make that simpler. On ne peut pas se fier aux informations. For that reason, pour cette raison, on ne peut pas, one cannot se fier à, trust, faire confiance à. I could say faire confiance à, but I don't want to repeat. On ne peut pas se fier aux informations and then qu'on lit sur des plateformes comme Instagram or Insta ou Snapchat. So, pour cette raison, on ne peut pas se fier aux informations qu'on lit, that one reads, qu'on lit sur des plateformes comme Insta ou Snapchat. And then I'm going to say now that that's my second development point, and the last thing I'm going to say now is that to conclude, and this is my conclusion, reliable journalism is important. So I'm going to say, put in an indent here, and I'm going to say, pour conclure, un journalisme fiable est plus important que jamais. Un journalisme fiable est plus important que jamais. A reliable journalism, it's called un journalisme en français. Un journalisme fiable est plus important que jamais. In my opinion, selon moi, we must pay for the media. Nous devons payer payer pour les médias. We must pay. Nous devons payer pour les médias. And I'm going to say, like, in that way, comme ça, si un journaliste ne vérifie pas les faits, that way, comme ça, si un journaliste ne vérifie pas les faits, ne vérifie pas les faits, he doesn't check the facts, we can hold him responsible. On peut le tenir pour responsable. We can hold him. So we put the him in front of the verb. We can hold him responsible. On peut le tenir pour responsable. On peut le tenir pour responsable. We can hold him for responsible is the expression in French. Comme ça, si un journaliste ne vérifie pas les faits, on peut le tenir pour responsable. And I'm going to say, to finish up, social media are a free-for-all. Les réseaux sociaux, social media, sociaux, sont une foire d'empoigne. This is a free-for-all. Une foire d'empoigne. Une foire d'empoigne. Les réseaux sociaux sont une foire d'empoigne. And one can say anything. On peut dire ce qu'on veut. On peut y dire ce qu'on veut. One can say there whatever you wish. So the I there is on them. On peut y dire ce qu'on veut. So I'm going to read through one more time now, and I strongly encourage you to more or less learn that off by heart so that you'll be able to tweak it for your own needs in the future. Les médias payants, oui. Les médias gratuits, non. Je ne leur fais pas confiance. Je ne leur fais pas confiance. Cette question me fait penser immédiatement à un article que j'ai lu au sujet d'Alex Jones. Jones est l'animateur d'un site de désinformation aux États-Unis avec des millions d'abonnés. De nos jours, les gens comme Jones peuvent diffuser toutes sortes de mensonges sur leur site. À mon avis, ces célébrités sont un vrai danger. Leur site devrait être interdit. Aujourd'hui, plus que jamais, il est important que les jeunes s'informent sur ce qui se passe dans le monde. La plupart de mes amis vont sur les réseaux sociaux pour avoir des informations. Mais ces plateformes ne sont pas fiables. Pourquoi? Parce qu'elles appartiennent à des sociétés privées. Parce qu'elles appartiennent à des sociétés privées. Toutefois, ces sociétés veulent simplement faire de l'argent. Pour cette raison, on ne peut pas se fier aux informations qu'on lit sur des plateformes telles que sur des plateformes comme Insta ou Snapchat. Pour conclure, un journalisme fiable est plus important que jamais. Selon moi, nous devons payer pour les médias. Comme ça, si un journaliste ne vérifie pas les faits, on peut le tenir pour responsable. Les réseaux sociaux sont une foire d'empoigne. Les réseaux sociaux sont une foire d'empoigne. On peut y dire ce qu'on veut. You can say whatever you want on those. So your job now, go back, make your notes, learn the key vocabulary, and do your best to almost learn that answer off by heart.